Hello, everyone. I'm Fozzy. I'm with Beany, and we are talking to Pelugion. Do you want to introduce yourselves, guys?
I'm Andy. I play bass and sing in Pelugion.
Um, I'm Brandon and I pit things.
You do hit things as well.
Yeah.
So, guys, last time we saw you was the Bloodstock Festival. You opened the Sunday, so just like this morning, we got up a bit, hungover, to come and see you. So it seems to be a recurring theme.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how that went and what your experience has been since then?
Yeah, it was a stressful affair. Um, Obviously going from like the new blood stage up to Sophie stage, it's quite a jump. Yeah, the whole weekend we're basically trying. It was always in the back of our minds, but we try not to think about it too much. But obviously, usually you go to Bloodstock and you're like obviously like drinking and stuff. But we literally the whole weekend we were trying to just trying to be good boys, make sure we were fresh, make sure we weren't hungover on the Sunday, just so we could like give the best like performance that we could. But yeah, it was awesome. Probably the best experience I've had on stage. So
Sound was incredible and everything. It was just perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better experience, really. It's so good. Like the backstage crew and everything was just everything was on point.
yeah,
Really well looked after.
Well, we got up and obviously the tent was cornered off before you started. So with you going on first, so it was kind of like the old Metallica videos from Download and stuff like that, where you put them in and people run to the front, there's that kind of experience. It was quite good. So, what kind of feedback have you had since you played?
yeah, it's been good. Obviously it's obviously a bit of an awkward one when you're the first on, especially for a Sunday, and it can be a bit hit or miss with like the attendance. But we were quite happy with how many people there, and we've had plenty of good feedback. People saying like how good like the sound was, and hopefully I think there should be some video out within the next couple of months from our set from Bloodstock. So looking forward to seeing that.
But
Considering the weather was crazy as well.
I just remember how the crowd grew, because
Yeah,
obviously with being first on, you didn't have lots of people there from the previous band sticking around and that. But
Mm.
um, to me, especially at a festival like that, the sign of a good band is that your crowd is a lot bigger at the end than it is at the beginning. And
yeah.
obviously, we've seen that, so that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
So, what apart from Pentre Fest, what you got coming up?
Nottingham on 17th of February. And then the day after Pentre, we got Subside in Birmingham. A few more gigs down the road, but can't really announce anything just yet. But yeah, always looking to take things on. So if anyone's watching that wants Pelugion playing wherever, then hit us up.
Yeah, we're trying to push the boat out this year, trying to just basically play new places that we haven't been before. So yeah, if there's any promoters or anyone out there that listens to us and likes what they hear, they just get in touch.
Yeah, well,
So
we definitely recommend you. So they should get in touch. They should
Yeah,
put you on, and they should give you a push and get you on bigger stages because, yeah, you've definitely got the sound for it. As Beanie said, at Bloodstock, standing in the audience and kind of watching the crowd coming round you, it was nice to see because obviously we've kind of seen you a few times over the years on kind of smaller stages, but seeing you on that big stage, I think it really like translated well to the sort of bigger sound as well. So
Yeah,
it was good.
yeah. Thank you.
thank you.
last time you played Pentre, was probably not a Pentre Fest. It's probably my birthday bash, wasn't it? You came,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was actually.
you came to play my birthday party. You have more memories of that than I do.
Like 5 years ago.
What is it?
I think it was, yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, we haven't had you back since.
It's all right. COVID got in the way. So good.
You played in Wrexham for us since, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yeah, I think that was Bloodstock year. Because I remember that was just before we played. But yeah, that was feels like a lifetime ago. Playing
Was
there
that the,
now, 5 years ago.
that Wrexham show? Was that
Scare
was that in that
Tactics.
place upstairs?
That was Atomic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, for depending on where you are in the world, it's either Rewind, Atomic, or various other names that it's been over the years. But I think it was Atomic when you guys played.
That was Balls Deep and Scare Tactics.
Yeah, Beanie's still wearing his
Yeah.
Balls Deep t-shirt from that night.
Yeah.
He hasn't taken it off.
Amazing.
He shouted at me last night because I wore an Iron Maiden t-shirt to a gig. He says, should be supporting the local act. So here I am supporting a smaller band, and he's still giving me abuse now. Go really. So you've got 2 albums out now, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like 2 EPs more.
2 EPs.
Yeah.
So how can we get hold of them? And do you want to tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so they're pretty much available everywhere, online streaming, and then you can buy it on Bandcamp as well. We've got physical copies as well, so if you see us at any gigs, just hit us up. Still got loads of merch available. The first EP was it's a bit of a weird one. It's kind of like a collection of all the songs that we'd previously recorded, and then the new song, Bane of Humanity, that we recorded at the time. I don't know if you want to speak about the second one, Brandon.
Yeah, the second EP. We put that out I think it was 2020, was it?
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah. Well, it was a bit of a weird one. We released that basically during like the height of COVID, so it's like we couldn't like tour off the back of it. So basically we just put it out there, and then we tried to follow up the following year, trying to like spread word about it. But yeah, I feel like the vibe for like the second EP, it's more of like a darker and like a more mature sort of sound to us. But and also we recorded that with Dan Willett. He's a bass player in the hardcore band Creature. But yeah, so if there's any other bands out there that want to record, I'd recommend Dan Willett because he's awesome. He's an awesome guy, and his production techniques just get better and better. But every time we've recorded with him across like a few years, his work just improves and it makes us sound better, which is obviously what you want from like a recording. You just want your sounds basically improve and improve, and yeah, we always get that with Dan. So yeah, highly recommend him.
The last track we did, that Demon in the Sky, he just elevated it to a whole new level. Just like some of the advice he gave and the tips vocally as well, stuff that I just would never have thought of. It just took the track to just this level, which wouldn't have been there without him. So yeah, I highly recommend him.
So when it comes to the writing of your songs, you know, is it a collaborative thing, or does one of you have the ideas and to go?
I think it varies track by track, really, doesn't it, Brandon? There's times where we'll be in the rehearsal rooms and a track will just come together. There's times when John will just have an idea of an entire song and we just kind of fit in what we think works well, and he'll give us tips on what he thinks. There's times when I'll have riffs, Brandon will have riffs as well, or lyric ideas. So I wouldn't say there's just one person that writes all of it. It's just maybe like a collaborative, really, like you said.
Yeah, I think the last track we put out, Demon in the Sky, I think John came to us with the guitar parts. Sweeney wrote the melodies, and then I think a mixture of me and John was the lyrics. So we sort of just like all of us had input. But yeah, like Sweeney says, like it varies. Sometimes like John's came to us with complete songs before, and we haven't really had to do anything. So yeah, it varies.
It's funny because you sometimes come with an idea and say like Brandon will start playing it a certain way and it's completely not how I expected it to sound, but it sounds so much better the way he's played it, and it takes the track in like a completely different direction. So yeah, it all changes when you get to that rehearsal room.
So, where would you guys say that your influences come from? Do each of you have like different bands that you listen to that you feel that contribute to your sound, or?
I think collectively, I think the main influences that we all three of us have would be like Metallica, Sabbath, a little bit of Black Label Society. Yeah, trying to think. What else, Sween, do you think? What do we all listen to?
I think it's definitely sound like that grunge era, like
Yeah.
Soundgarden, Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
That's a massive influence, especially vocally for Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. But yeah, I'd say the big ones are Metallica, Sabbath, and Black Label. Probably a bit of Pantera as well, especially in the groove.
Cool.
So you definitely do have a groove, and I think that does helps you stand out to a lot of bands. Like there's a lot of bands, especially with the more doomier type of bands and stuff. They don't always have that groove and the catchiness. And have that. And is that just a pure Pantera loving, or is it not meant?
Probably,
Yeah.
probably a bit of Pantera and Sabbath, yeah, because I think they're big on the groove. I think maybe because they're instrumentally a three-piece, Sabbath and Pantera, so the same as us. So I think you've kind of got to have that groove to drive the songs when the guitar's doing like a solo or whatever.
Yeah, I think we tried to cater for like everyone. So we've got like the down tempo sort of Sabbathy, like sludgy songs, but then we also tried to have like the high tempo, sort of more groovy, like thrashy vibes as well. Like we try not to pigeonhole ourselves, like we just try and go across the spectrum really. But whether it works, I don't know. You you be the judge, but we think it does.
Well, obviously, I mean, the first time we saw you was Christ years ago. I think it was probably Coventry, first time, and you were literally just kids on the stage, and you thought, "Wow, oh my God, how good are these now?" When the kids, and it's very similar to an experience I had with Reaper.
Yeah.
We kind of like just watched you grow on stage. So now you're proper men, and it's like you've grown up in front of us. How has maturing, not just as people but as musicians as well, how's that changed your attitude towards what you're playing and how you play and how you write and stuff?
I would say as a frontman, 100% matured, because I think when I first started out, I was really focused on trying to be the next coming of James Hetfield. So I was constantly like, yeah, come on, get involved, let's get you all clapping, sort of thing. Whereas now it's trying to learn to hold it back, and not just try and give too much, so to speak. Because I think when you try and give too much, it's just, if I was a spectator, I'd be like, oh God, this guy's too much. Like, he needs to stay, he needs to wind it back. But yeah, I think maturing definitely with stage presence, I think all of us is much better than what it used to be. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I used to get like when we first started playing, I used to get like so nervous, but now it's like through so many shows that we've played, it's like it's nothing. It's second nature. It's like I don't even like. Well, maybe the only exception would be when we played Sophie Stage. I did definitely have some nerves, but
especially when you hear "Lamb of God" warming
yeah.
up over the road, is like, oh God.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of like my like drumming, I think because we've all individually got better at our instruments, it helps with songwriting because like you can throw an idea to like Sweeney could throw an idea to me, and if it was like say 5 6 years ago, I might not be able to come up with an idea, but because we've played together for like so many years now, we sort of like we can lock in on like the sort of feel and like vibe and like groove of like a song. Like we can do it really like because we know each other so well and because we're getting better at our instrument, it really helps us to like develop ideas better. So it helps with like just generally like songwriting.
When it comes to singles and videos and stuff like that, Do you have a specific approach to that sort of thing?
I don't think we really do we? Bane of Humanity was it Tim Paling who did that, Brandon? Yeah, so
Yeah,
he
Tim. I think he drums for Balls Deep now. I think he was in Head Press at the time.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, he did that video. And I think because we had just won Metal to the Masters, it was kind of this rush job from, I think, did we win it in May, Brandon? And then we played Bloodstock in August.
yeah,
So it was like, okay, we've got to get all these things in place. We've got to get the merch sorted. We've got to get the video recorded, the song recorded, and the video done as well. We tried to get the video recorded as easy as possible. So the process for that was just go into a rehearsal room, completely black out the room with blackout curtains, and then just record it all individually, didn't we? I think, and then he just kind
yeah,
of pieced it all together.
yeah.
And then the second one was it Reese Artistic Allegri
Yeah.
for the I don't know if you want to speak about that one. You probably know more than me.
Yeah. So when we put out the uh second EP, we wanted to release a video for one of the tracks off that. But it was basically during COVID, so we couldn't really get in touch with anyone to like a videographer or a photographer, so no one would be willing to like come out to us. So a mate of mine who was studying animation, Reese, he goes under the name Artistic Allegri. He basically designed a animated music video for one of our tracks, The Callin', and it was like a retro gaming sort of vibe, which we thought would be cool because you don't really see many animated videos nowadays, especially from like an unsigned band like ourselves. So we went with that, and we're quite happy with how it turned out. Like influences from like Sonic and Pokemon and Mario and like all these other like old school games. So yeah,
Hero as well.
yeah.
Cool. Because that was the whole premise was like we're taking on COVID or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, the
We were
story for it was
defeating
that we were
COVID.
fighting COVID. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the end,
Do you feel that the music that's come out since COVID has been heavily influenced by the experience that you had during lockdown and kind of not being able to play for a couple of years, or have you tried to stay away from that? If you see what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. Not personally. I don't feel like it's influenced like me songwriting wise. I don't know. What about you, Swain? I don't think it.
Maybe not in a songwriting wise, but maybe in like a because you were all locked up for so long, maybe the play style is a little bit more aggressive. Maybe trying to get a bit more out than what we usually were.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's influenced songwriting personally. Yeah.
I mean, I feel I feel that I definitely did take a few things for granted, like the ability to like travel and play live. So maybe that's influenced our wanting to play live more. I mean, I don't know, like because it was definitely a very shit time not being able to like get on stage with like John and Sween and not see anyone. So yeah, maybe it has influenced a little bit, but not my writing.
Even just going out to gigs and watching them, like
Yeah,
just try and go out to gigs as much as possible now. Because I mean, I feel like hopefully we're on the other side. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. So
Hopefully.
yeah, just trying. Yeah.
that was one of the
Just trying to
things.
get as much as possible.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I missed the most was just gigging because it's obviously with promoting and whatnot, it's a major part of your life. And, just it's not even the work that goes into it or whatever. It's the live music experience, and it's so frustrating not being able to do that. Hated that.
So much so that during lockdown, when we had a bit of a relaxation of the rules, Cadence Noir came and played in Frank and Beanie's kitchen.
It was actually a thing we were nearly going to do. Kitchen gigs. But luckily, it started to relax a bit more then. But yeah, it was a bit strange there. So Um, so, well, as a three piece, do you feel as though you have to work harder on stage than other bands maybe?
I don't know, because with one thing since we started playing, one thing that's always consistently been said to us is that we sound a lot bigger than a three piece. Like our sound is like we sound like we can basically go on par with like a 4 or 5 piece. Like people have always said that we sound bigger than what we are, and so I don't know if we have to like try harder, but I know that for John and Sween, they they try to be more active on stage, like moving, like so they're not just in one fixed position. Obviously, I'm a bit fucked in that sort of. I can't do anything. I've just got to stay at the back. But obviously, John and Sween, they'll obviously
Stand up
work
and
in
spin
a
your
lot of moving.
sticks.
Yeah, I just yeah. But yeah, I don't know if we have to like try harder, but we definitely try to make the live experience as like exciting as we can.
But I know, especially with yourself, Brandon, one of the things that does stand out is when you're drumming, you absolutely look as though you're loving it. A lot of times, drummers have like major concentration on the face and stuff like that, and you've just got, basically a grin on your face. You're loving it. You're pulling faces and whatnot, and you do seem to be getting into it. So
Yeah,
it's obviously something you love doing.
yeah. That's that didn't come naturally at first. When we first started gigging, I was like I said before, I used to get like really nervous. So I was basically just like looking like down at the drums like whilst I was playing. Like I didn't want to look out front, didn't want to see people looking at me. But just through playing more and more and getting more relaxed and comfortable on stage, it's just like I said, it's just second nature, and I do genuinely enjoy it now. It's just like I love being on stage. So
Um, oh, sorry. So obviously, while you're singing and playing the bass at the same time, I know you do like to move about a bit. But one of the things that I've found with you guys is you don't have to do that much on stage to keep people's attention because the size of your sound. How's that come about?
Like the size of our sound, you mean?
Yeah. So where's that
You've
come
got
from?
bigger speakers, Bean.
Yeah. We just turn up loud on everyone else. To be honest, I think it's pure chance. I think there's a certain bass tone that I like, and there's a certain guitar tone that John likes, and I think it just fits well. Like there was never a time where the two of us really focused like, okay, I've got to have this certain kind of sound. John, you've got to have this certain kind of sound for it to work. We just plugged in, dialed in the tone we wanted, and played. And by chance for us, it works. I know other bands tend to spend quite a lot of time focusing on their sound and making sure it's perfect. But for us, it's just a case of plugging in, getting the sound that we want, and we're good to go.
Okay. So,
I will say about your bass tone, and it's something we've discussed in other interviews with Human Condition. Actually, I think you may be on the correct bass tone for the door frame in the middle of the room at Mcleans. That when you get to the perfect note, it just sits there and goes. And I think I remember last time you played at Mcleans, you actually hit that note with your sound. So I'm looking forward to just hearing the door frame rattle again.
Let me know, and I'll be like, "Oh, there you go."
Yeah, I was like, well, just tweak it slightly. But,
I
yeah.
think also one of the things that contributes to the sound is Brandon's drumming, because obviously you know Brandon, but with the riffs, the way you drum tends to kind of match the riff, if that makes sense. So like
yeah,
your hits will kind of syncopate with like the hits of the riff.
yeah, yeah. I'm always obviously being a three piece. I'm always actively trying to lock in with the other two. Uh, I'm not I'm not like a flashy sort of drummer. I play for the song and for the riff, basically. Like, I'm not there trying to like show off and put in as much fucking double bass as I can. I'm there purely to service the song and make sure that as a three piece, as a trio, we all sound good. So yeah, that's something I actively try to do.
Okay, I think if I remember rightly, last time you actually played Pentre Fest, did we get an acoustic set from you?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think it was. It's the bit outside, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just kind of did like an impromptu thing. Did you come up, Brandon, or was it just me and John? I can't remember.
I think.
Did I do a
I
track
was-
with you? I did a track with John, and then I think I did one by myself.
I think I was there, but I didn't play.
Ah,
I've actually I found some footage on my phone the other day from that from the
okay.
acoustic. I'll have to send it over to you.
Yeah, do it.
So you can have a look.
Send,
Um,
it's a nice little promotional tool, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, especially when you're doing an acoustic set again. He's laughing. You don't have to do an acoustic set again, but we still do have.
I'm happy to do whatever. I'm more than happy.
The acoustic stage kind of evolved a little bit. So whereas last year it wasn't an acoustic stage, it was just a stage outside. But with this year we've tried to get it back to something more acoustic and a bit more fun of having people from the bands playing again and stuff like that.
Yes.
Obviously we get a lot of people talking about the Sodomized Cadaver set that they did and played with bins and instead of drums and whatnot, and which was great fun.
I've actually found that footage, and there's another interview that's coming out that me and Beany did with Rob from JTR talking about the festival, and I've put that video at the end, and it's just every time I watch it, just halfway through they have to come out and take the bucket out of the way and bring another box out so that you can carry on playing drums.
Is the acoustic stuff something you've explored much, or is it not something you're that too interested in?
We've got it. It's weird, John. We've got like a WhatsApp group chat where we've constantly got like song ideas floating back and forth, and John does send quite a lot of acoustic stuff that he's wrote, but it's just a case of blending it in with the rest of like if we were to release like another EP, it's like it would be something that would be open to doing, but it's whether it works with the rest of the songs, like because we did have like an acoustic piece that John wrote on our last EP, like right at the end, well, just before the last track, but it was more like an intro to the last song. But whether we'd have like a whole piece acoustic, I don't know. It's something we haven't really spoken about too much.
I think we'd be doing John a disservice to not let him shine on an acoustic platform, because like we'll see if he'll play some pieces when we come to Pentre, but like he's so good on the acoustic guitar. Like some of the stuff he comes out with, like me and Brandon just watching him, just like, how are you doing that? Like it's just he's all over the place and it sounds just beautiful. So
it's like he's got three hands. He's like like he'll be playing like a rhythm part, but then he'll be playing like melodies over the top of it. But it's like how? It's like it's two people playing. It's I don't know. Maybe at some point we can do that.
How's the writing going then for the new EP?
Yeah, it's going well.
It's going.
We got in a practice room yesterday. We basically got like a song done in a day. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Because I wouldn't even say a day. It was like half an hour, wasn't it? We played it towards the end of rehearsal. It was like, oh yeah, and it was finished in half an hour.
Yeah, well, hopefully, we're planning on playing a few new ones at Pentre, so that should be interesting.
Cool.
You like new music?
Yeah.
So it's like exclusive, is it? We're gonna get the first taste of them.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's cool.
Is there anything else then?
I don't think so. No. Just keep your eyes peeled towards the end of the year for a new one. Hopefully, I mean, think the dream is to do an album, but obviously with costs, we're not too sure if that will happen. But fingers crossed. You never know.
Yeah, I think minimum of 6 songs.
So we're going to say a massive thank you to Pelugion. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Brandon. And we will see all 3 of you, including John, at Pentre Fest on the 25th of February at Mcleans pub in Deeside. You guys are on stage about 9:30, I think, on the Saturday night. So please be there. You'll love them. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you. Social links, you can find us on Facebook. There's no other band called Pelugion, so you won't have trouble finding us. Instagram. As in regards to streaming, we're everywhere. Spotify, Apple, whatever else streaming sites there are, Amazon, bloody Deezer, whatever you want to listen to.
Deezer.
Find us everywhere.
Hi, we're Pelugion. This is our track called The Calling, where we take on COVID, defeat COVID, and you're all welcome.